Execute a drug dealer, death penalty sentence for drug dealers.
This is really stupid. Forget the dealers. You want to slow down that drug traffic, you got to start executing a few of these bankers. White, middle-class, Republican bankers.
It seems a surprising number of people didn't quite get the satire here. I repeat, a surprising number of people. But hey, to be fair, there's plenty of times where I haven't gotten it. I mean, we've all been Joey at one point or another.
I mean, it was like the Algonquin kids' table.
I still don't have any idea what that means. And even though I remembered this and took the time to clip it out, no, I still don't care enough to actually go look it up. Anyway, really good satire takes something and completely flips it on its head and looks at it from a different direction, asking you to reconsider whatever preconceived notions you may have had about it. And that's what Carlin does so effectively here and why it works. Now, to be very clear, this is not a serious policy proposal. It wasn't when Carlin said it, and it wasn't implied when I posted it either. Nor was it exclusively to take a dig at former President Trump. He's hardly the first one to come up with this idea of executing drug dealers. I mean, this clip from Carlin is from 1996. Rather is to point to the absurdity of the idea itself as opposed to the person who said it. He's just the most high profile to do so. Now, a lot of people are hanging on to this reference to the white middle-class Republican banker, understandably enough. So let's break this down. Why was this put in there? When people bring up the idea of executing drug dealers, who is the person that comes to mind? Who is the image that you might get in your head? Is it this guy? Or this guy? Perhaps these fine folks? Or is it this guy? Yeah, this is likely most accurate. Typically street dealers selling directly to users. They're not thinking of the other people who are facilitating the drug trade by serving other roles like money laundering. The stereotypical drug dealer, when you first get the image into your mind, is non-white. The stereotypical image of a banker is white. That's the reason for the specific mention of the white banker, looking at it from a different role. There are a lot of different roles in the drug markets that make them go. It's not just the people that are selling directly to users. Why put all this emphasis on the dealers as opposed to the others? If you really want to hit on tackling the drug problem, then you have to look at all the sources of it.
Drug dealers aren't afraid to die. They're already killing each other every day on the streets. Drive-bys, gang shootings. They're not afraid to die.
Now, of course, drug dealers are afraid of dying. This is more of a commentary on the differences in class and status between a dealer and a banker. Higher-ups in the drug trade, or even those filling other roles like bankers, don't live with that same constant fear that it all could end at any moment. The threat of a death penalty, the amount of impact it's going to have, the banker's going to be much more impacted by this because it's a prospect they've never really faced before, at least not in the same way as an average dealer would. The idea of executing just a street dealer just gets flippantly thrown out there, but then once you bring up other people like the bankers, like those who are heading up pharmaceutical companies pushing opioids, for example, then the idea of executing them for deaths is like, whoa, that's just completely ridiculous. That's going too far. Why is that? Because they are respectable. They have a higher status. The idea of executing them for all these deaths doesn't seem plausible, does it? That was the whole point. So then the other part of that was Republican. Why specifically mention Republican? What's the point of singling them out specifically? Well, this is a satirical response to a specific policy proposal, death penalty for drug dealers. That came from where? Republicans. Again, flipping it on its head. That's why. It's really as simple as that.